Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need to introduce ourselves again?
Yeah, I mean, we always have new people that might be joining us.
So is it the same? Are we gonna say the same thing or?
Yeah, yeah. This whichever one is more, you know, natural.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
So the one on Twitch will not be recorded. It will, when it's recorded, it will go to YouTube automatically, right?
No, I have to go into the video section and ask it to send it to YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah. I suppose it's in case something goes wrong with the stream and you're not too happy with it.
oh okay.
Yeah.
So you have an option whether to upload it or not.
Yeah. You can also just delete it after. So,
Mm.
yeah. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll start in 2 minutes. So, just hang in there. If you guys have anything to comment or ask, just let us know. Just put it in the chat and we'll try and answer it if possible. You can take the lead today, Ophelia, if you want.
Well, are we going to start now?
Um,
And where's
maybe like 15 seconds.
yeah? Do you get to see the Polarigo show?
What show?
Or
Pardon?
have you get to see like any shows recently?
Oh, no, I've pretty much just been indoors most of this week. I've been working on some designs at home.
Mm.
I'm also trying to go to the gym more often, so there's that. And also trying to reduce the amount I eat. So, yeah.
Oh,
But, yeah, I'll try and see a show if you recommend it. Yeah,
well, I guess there's lots of show going on, but yeah, it depends on
that's true.
your choice and taste, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can Google some stuff afterwards, actually.
Yeah,
Um,
let's see what you enjoy. There's a lot going on.
yeah. I thought I might be busy tomorrow, but I might actually have free time, so maybe I could go tomorrow.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be a good idea. Or maybe just start from National Gallery. That would be good.
that's true. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we can. Maybe we can start now.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Ophelia.
And I'm Matthew.
Welcome to Art Mood, and we're doing this art channel to share the joy of art, whether it's historical, contemporary, painting, sculptures, or photography.
Mm. And I hope that we'll all have fun and learn something too.
So, what are we seeing today?
Well, this on the on the screen, it's we're gonna be looking at Soga Shuhaku, um, a artist from the Muromachi period. Yes. So essentially, I looked into him, and he was quite an interesting guy to look
I
into.
thought it's Edo period, no?
Oh, is it Edo? Oh, right. Yes, my mistake. Yes. So it's actually the Edo period. Um, but his work
Which is how
actually,
many years ago?
yes. Ugh, I keep
Um,
getting my periods mixed up. But yeah. Yeah. So he was born in the Edo period. But his work resembled paintings from the Muromachi period.
and the Edo period is which century?
Which century? Oh, that's a good question. Um, mm,
I
fourth.
think it's the 18th century.
I can believe that. Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. It's it's the time period where you have a lot of samurais and ninjas and such. But yeah, um, actually, it's a little after that. Yeah. Um, yes.
are we going to
So
have the painting displayed or
yeah, yeah. But we should maybe discuss him a little bit.
the painter?
Yeah.
Well, what do we know about him?
Well, he's kind of an eccentric, like quite a number of painters, to be fair. Actually, his real name wasn't Soga Shuhaku. He actually changed it to that name because there's a line of painters by the name Shuhaku,
Mm.
Shoga and Shuhaku, and he wanted to be associated with that family, so his work would seem um, more. What's the word I'm looking for? He wanted artists to think that he was a big shot. That he has his name of this famous artist, and he makes good work.
And he wants to prove his lineage with and associated with this
Yeah,
renowned family, right? Kind of.
yes, exactly. Um, but the weird thing is that his work was not reminiscent of the Soga family, like at all.
How so?
Um, he liked stuff from the Muromachi period, so it was more stuff to do with gods and creatures and the like. So it was kind of strange. Um, Not that we would notice it right away, but it wasn't a common thing to see his kind of work during the Edo period.
Mm.
Yeah.
And he's actually quite well known. He
Mm,
got quite a few commissions around the country.
that's true.
And well, even though his life wasn't very well recorded, some says he was born in Mie Prefecture,
Mm-mm.
the west southwest of Japan, whereas some says he was born in Kyoto.
Mm-mm. Yeah. It's actually looking into him, I did find out also kind of a few inconsistencies here and there about his past. So we're just going
Mm.
by what we could find out.
Yeah, inconsistency. That's true.
Yes. So the work we're going to look at today um, is essentially the Chinese Immortals. I think it has a different name in Japan and in some other countries, but Chinese Immortals is like the closest name to the original.
Right.
Um, yes. So with this piece, there's a lot of it's based on Chinese mythology, and my Chinese mythology knowledge isn't great, so I'm going to maybe not know who a certain person is in the painting. But if you recognize anyone, just let me know. Uh, it's kind of like an old piece of fan art. So yeah, let's take a look at the. Actually, it comes in two paintings, so we'll look at the first one.
So this is a huge painting, right? Isn't it? From what I remember,
Yes, exactly.
there are two screens, and this will be the one that's on the left-hand side.
Yes, yes. So, um, there's well,
It's very colorful,
there's a lot going on, and yeah, you're right. It's a
and
photo screen.
I like that the background is lighter in colors.
Mm-mm.
So it has this style that when the lighter background is further away, right?
Mm-mm.
That's how the painter like create depths, and that's very nice.
Mm. Now, what I found out was that so generally the immortals in the mythology and Chinese mythology reside on the top of mountains, and essentially it's like different mythologies or religions. Like Christianity, the idea of heaven is in the sky. With Greek mythology, Olympus is on top of a kind of mountain. It's
Mm.
kind of the same thing here. So you have these characters who reside on top of this mountain, and you can tell just by the other mountains just in the background that they're on a high altitude.
So they're children living within the gods.
Yes, pretty much. So there's a lot going on. So we'll try and start from the left.
Mm.
Okay. So one of the first things I noticed was that just over here, those are apparently peaches, and apparently peaches are a sign of immortality in Chinese mythology.
Right.
Yes, but it's a little discolored, so
It's red instead of pink.
yeah. So I believe there was a story where a peach did grant someone immortality. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, peach, like momo, is like a very popular kind of fruit, or the momotaro, right? In
Yes, yeah,
Japanese
yeah, exactly.
mythology.
Yeah.
So the hero
Mm,
of that story,
mm,
and well, it's a very nice invitation to into this world, as if to have a peek of what's going on with the divine or immortals here.
mm. Very true. I agree.
Um, well, the ladies, they're all dressed in like Chinese attires, right?
Yes.
Not exactly. So what happens is during the time in Japan, there were a lot of paintings and scrolls maybe
Mm,
from China coming in, and that actually inspired painters and artists because it's very new to them. So that's why we have these paintings.
that makes sense. Because in my research, I did find out there's quite a number of Japanese painters who are really fascinated with Chinese mythology or Chinese style.
Yes,
Yeah.
because at the time they had a lot of. So that's when when Buddhism actually started to be imported from China in the 6th century.
Ah, interesting.
And so it's been quite a long time. They have this diplomats going back and forth and bringing different goodies, maybe you can say.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, like ceramics, pottery, or like culture, like the tea ceremony, and then paintings. So that's very interesting. And of course, the most important thing is like Buddhism.
Mm-mm-mm. Makes That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's a religion that they both share. So
So if we look at this painting, it looks like it's not. It cannot be a very pleasant one. It's
yeah.
it's a bit grotesque, right? Some may even say, because we see this creature in the middle. Well, not in the middle, on the left,
Mm.
with this beautiful lady
Mm. Yes.
picking his ear.
Mm.
But his lips are so red, it stands out and it just pops out from his body, right? And he
It,
has this huge tummy with this creature clinging onto him.
yes. Um. Some people have said it's either a turtle or a lizard on
A
its
lizard.
back. Yeah. It looks more like a turtle, though, right?
I think, well, it looks like something like a hybrid between a turtle, maybe a lizard, and a frog.
Mm.
A toad,
Oh, a
maybe.
frog.
A
Yeah,
toad,
I can
a
see that.
toad, yeah, a
Yeah.
toad with the eyes, right?
Yeah.
But we don't know, like, what these creatures are. But we
Yeah.
know the lady with the fan, like, very elegant lady.
Yes.
In,
Actually, a little factoid about that. So during that time period, a woman would often use a fan to hide their face, especially when they met a stranger, like a strange man or just someone they just didn't know.
mm,
So I imagine she's doing it because of that creature that's looking at the peach, but I don't know. Yeah,
really, it looks more like she's looking through the magnifying glass,
yeah.
seeing what's going on in this world. She's sitting up in this higher place, right?
Mm,
And there are like peaches in front of her, and then there's this girl in white, kind of like as if she's serving her,
mm,
or this creature. They're
mm.
running.
Ah, yes. So,
No.
um, well, the woman on the left, actually, funny enough, from what I found out, is actually, um, I don't know the right term to use, but it's
Like a
well,
fairy? No.
no, it's both male and female.
Ah,
Yes. So apparently, this painting is based on a character called Lan Chai.
so one of the immortals, I guess.
Yes, yeah. Um, but I only knew that because one, he's always depicted. Well, they're always depicted as feminine looking, but you know, um, their gender is kind of ambiguous, and they always have this basket of flowers. So
Oh,
every painting is always they always have this particular basket with them.
so it's like showing her status, right?
Yeah, 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 exactly. And this creature kind of resembles I've said this before, but it resembles a Pokemon called Chanshru.
Oh,
Yeah, just a bit, and it might just be a coincidence. But when
but
I
you know,
look,
like,
sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just wondering, like, a lot of these Pokemon things, they came from all these ancient mythology. Like there's this one thing that's quite popular these days. What's it called? Something you your game watch or
Oh, Yokai Watch. Yeah,
yes, yokai watch. Yeah.
yeah. That's actually I don't watch it, but I know of it, and one of the things I do like about Japan is the amount of ghost kind of stories or mythology
Yes,
they have.
and then all these yokai watch these yokai. Yeah, these are like monsters, right? Spirits from all these stories.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
Yeah,
got they're quite creative. I think.
yeah.
So yes.
Cute enough, not to scare kids, I guess.
Mm-mm. It is spooky, but that show kind of makes them adorable. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this creature, when I looked into it, I don't think it's actually a Sandshrew from Pokemon because but it looks kind of similar. So, but in Chinese, he's called Chu Shan Shu, Chu San
As
Shu.
a kind of animal, right? Like,
Yeah. So
um,
yeah, it's supposed to be a creature. So it Chu San Shu translates to um something like mouse that passes through mountains. So I thought that's interesting because it's a creature on top of a mountain. So it might just be a coincidence, but I don't know. I thought that was quite interesting. Um,
mm,
but yeah. Um, so we also have this. So we've looked at this guy. We've seen this lady who I couldn't find. I couldn't find out who she is for my research.
mm.
So yeah.
But
Um,
they're very, very pretty, and then I like the old man in the middle.
mm,
Like his robe looks like the Kusama's Infinity Net.
oh, that's true. I did the design choice for the clothing for him.
Yeah, it's
Um,
quite fashionable, like, and very creative.
mm,
Maybe it actually shows like he's wearing a piece of rag or something, but somehow it just becomes it
mm,
just relates to one of the most famous artists in the
mm,
world now.
mm. And
Uh,
um, well, I was gonna mention that from my research, I found out that this person might actually be a character called Zhongli Chuan, and I only know this because apparently almost every depiction of him is always with a white stork or
oh,
this
okay.
kind of bird creature.
So he's
Um,
like the immortal of longevity, maybe,
yes.
with a long beard and a very big, full forehead.
Mm, 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 mm.
And even the carp, right? Carp is something, of like prosperity, longevity related
Exactly. Yeah.
in the coins too. So it's a very nice thing.
Mm, 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 mm.
Mm.
Yes. Apparently, this character was human, and he ascended to godhood. Maybe when he died or something.
Mm.
But yeah. Okay. So we get to the weirder part of this image. Um. So yeah, let me hear what you think about the guy on the right, in your opinion.
Kind of right.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the older man, like his legs looks like a dragon actually.
Ah.
Looks like dragon's limbs or something. His muscles and unusual
Yeah. It's an interesting design choice. I can't tell if it's just
for the limbs.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
or maybe it's just show that he's just not
he's very old.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But he seems happy, I guess.
Well, the guy on the right,
Yes.
um, yeah, he looks a bit creepy with carrying a little boy with all pens, and then there are like little children, but they have like faces of like a 20-year-old
Yeah.
dancing behind him,
Mm.
and I don't know, trying to ask for something from him, or
Mm. Well,
I don't know.
yeah. I have no idea who this guy is. I looked him up and I couldn't find anything about him. And I can't tell if he's a nice person who the children really love, or maybe the children, maybe he took the baby and the kids are trying to get the baby back from him. You know. So
But he does have this like quite nice face. So maybe he's related to, I don't know, like taking care of children, like
mm,
immortals, like children or babies that were abandoned or something, and then
yeah, yeah.
under his care. That could be it too.
Mm-mm-mm.
And the landscape is very nice too for Shohaku. So you can see the strength of it and the power of nature that he actually put when he brushed them.
Yeah,
And this,
yeah.
this trunk coming out from the lady with the fan, it's almost like a porcupine, almost like a spirit,
That's
like
true.
flying into it. And that's maybe plum tree, I don't know. But the background is very nice, the mountains. And I read something that he was so the painter was so eccentric that he actually used a bunch of straw just to paint sometimes. So very dynamic and very creative artist.
It's not a bad idea to paint a straw, but it's quite.
Well, yeah, I mean like Rembrandt and Van Gogh, they painted with reed, right? So I guess why not?
Yeah, it's quite detailed. Um, I didn't actually. Every time I look at this painting, I usually notice something kind of new. Like I always miss the pottery on the left.
Yes,
Yeah. Um.
I think that's the sign of a good painting, right? Because you always go back and look at it, and then you discover something new. And it's actually very good, like looking at something. Well, I can't really say that it's beautiful, but it is a great painting, nevertheless.
Very true.
So it's nice to just look at it and absorb it.
Yeah.
And yeah, this can transfer to our daily life. There was this program, remember that we did in the center, right? Before the pandemic, about like looking, the art of looking. So it's really about just, it helps us to focus, concentrate, and analyze, and just really move our brain, just to exercise our brain somehow in a different way.
I've been trying to do that a lot recently, uh, because of that discussion actually. So
And what kind of paintings do you look at though?
just anything you send me, or just something I find online sometimes, or just I look at a lot. Actually, I'm more of an illustration guy, so I tend to look more at that. But
Like who? Like what kind of illustration though? Animation?
funny enough, I've been checking out a lot of illustrators on Twitch recently. So there's quite a number of people that present their work or they show their process, and it's really interesting. Actually, it's I always find it quite educational, and yeah, and they're always quite inviting.
So illustration, because I'm trying to get this book done, right? And for the illustrator part, I still don't really have an idea, and I still don't know whether I should, really continue to look for a publisher or an agent, or simply just try to self-publish. Because self-publish, then I'll need to find an illustrator.
Yeah.
And then, finding the right person is not that easy.
Yeah.
Because I talked to an acquaintance lately, and then her husband wanted to publish books too. And her husband used to be a journalist.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's retired now, and then he starts to write, right? Because he loves writing, so he started to write historical facts, but I kind of merge it into like a fiction. So, the characters and people and like the place, like they're in real life, but it's blend into this fictional world. But yeah, like she was just telling me, it was so difficult. It was almost impossible. Like they sent out like 50 or 100 of emails and still no reply. It's the same with me too, to be honest. And because there are so many. Well, not every publisher or literary agent, they will want to accept any. What do you call that? unsolicited manuscript, right? Especially the large ones. I'm not even looking for the large ones. I was just looking at the smaller ones. But yeah, it's been quite difficult.
Oh, being a writer or like a designer or illustrator,
Yeah.
it's really hard to actually make it something that you can get money from, or to even just actually, I should phrase it better. I think it's hard to make a career from it because it requires someone to just notice your work, either enough people or just the right person to just say, okay, I'll give this a chance. You
Yeah,
know.
it's not easy at all. I mean, so I admire artists, especially because, artists are even harder to make it work.
Mm, very
But of
true.
course, there are always a lot of like successful artists who are actually very good with marketing and knowing what consumers want and what appeals
Absolutely.
to people.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I mean, creativity and business, like it's just they really need to be blend together, I guess, somehow.
Ah, totally. Yeah, a part of it is being a good businessman, or just another part of it is just blind luck. Just being found by the right people at the right time. You know.
Yeah, that's true too. That's like the
Yeah.
timing and
Yeah.
maybe, luck, serendipity,
Yeah.
these sort of things.
Yeah. And you also have these artists sometimes where um, they don't get famous or they don't get recognized until they've passed away or something. You know.
Yeah, well, Van Gogh being the most famous
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
things like that.
Exactly.
But of
Yeah.
course, there are a lot of people who didn't really make it.
Mm,
Like, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, shall we move on to the right-hand side of
All right.
the screen?
Cool. Uh, yeah, let's do that. Okay. So this one is a little easier to talk about because there's technically less going on, but there's still quite a lot that's happening.
Well, the colors are so bright.
Oh, absolutely.
The red splashes, like in the middle of the painting, flowers.
Yeah, it's I think it's a better use of color in this one compared to the previous one.
I think the contrast really stands out, right?
Absolutely. So it's kind of interesting to see that they're both kind of from the same piece of work, I guess.
This one is more like dynamic, whereas the one of the left is more about stillness. It's
Mm.
more passive. This one is more active, I guess, with the man in blue riding the dragon,
Mm-mm.
and then he's taming it actually.
Yeah,
Not riding it, but taming it.
I was thinking that too, actually. Well, the expression on the dragon, he seems kind of concerned or worried or afraid or something. And
Mm.
yeah, so I imagine, yeah, so he's either been tamed or been
Mm.
defeated or something. And
Mm.
by this man who's carrying a I've been looking at it for a while and I can't tell what it is. But I
A
think it's
bowl.
yeah, it's either a bowl or a large cup. Well, I suppose a
Oh.
large cup is a bowl,
It could be
technically.
a sake cup.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like those little shallow dishes.
Yes. Very most yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was something for drinking alcohol.
Mm.
Cause I don't know. He's a youngish looking guy, maybe. And
Mm.
you know, it was very masculine for like mythological male characters to chug alcohol or something.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
I like the way the clothing and the hair was being blown, and it
Yes.
we know that everything's like in chaos or something.
Yes.
The waves and then the wind.
Mm-mm. Yes. So his clothing is got these waves on it, and you got these sparrows in the back to
Mm.
indicate wind, and you've also got these waves, which look very you know you get quite a number of like wave designs you see on some paintings where they look very intrinsic, very
Mm.
detailed, not
Yeah,
just up down, but like lots of details in the waves. Yeah.
Mm.
And actually, just noticing here is the this particular spiral to indicate the wind. It's got a bit.
Yeah,
It's got a
like a
bit of gold.
hurricane or something, right?
Yeah, it's got a bit
It's
of
very
gold
nice.
at the center. Yeah.
Mm. And then they're coming to the land
Mm.
by the
Yeah.
seashore, maybe. And then there's this character, this figure, almost like disappearing in the wind or
Mm.
being blown, right?
Yes. Um. Yeah. It's I couldn't tell what this character is, but
Yeah.
he doesn't look quite human when you look at the face. He looks kind of I don't want to say monster, like kind of like a creature, I guess.
Mm,
But he
mm.
walks on two two legs, two arms. He's got a
It could
walking
be.
stick.
Do you think it could be like a kind of like a dragon kind of creature, but men at the same time,
Yeah,
transforming into
yeah,
something?
yeah.
I like these little splashes of red paint all over the screen,
Mm,
like flowers.
yeah. Um, it's quite odd for like um such big waves to be close to this many flowers. So I can't tell
Mm.
if actually on closer inspection it kind of looks like the flowers are growing on top of like a river or something. You can kind of see these kind of
Ah,
lines going up and down.
maybe they're like timber, right? Logs, or
Yeah.
and then there are rocks all over too. And then
Mm-mm.
all of a sudden, there's a very glamorous kind of creature, the peacock or the phoenix. Ah, actually, the
Mm.
phoenix, right?
Yeah. It's most likely a phoenix, but it's hard to tell because the tail looks very much like a peacock.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's more like a phoenix, though.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very beautiful feathers and
Mm.
so soft. The brushwork is so soft, especially when you look at some of the feathers there.
Mm-mm. And there's quite a lot of detail on the feathers. Like
Yeah.
it's not just white. There's also grays on there. There's white spots on top of a kind of a gray surface.
And
Yeah,
then the way it turns the head,
yeah.
like towards the other side, is so elegant.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and I also can't tell if this guy is angry or happy to see this guy appear.
Which guy?
The guy next to the peacock, next to the phoenix. I mean,
Oh,
so the
okay,
guy
the
with
one.
the stick.
Yeah, the gray,
Yeah.
the grayish guy, right?
Yeah, he's probably angry about the dragon parking there.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know, because he's calling out something.
yeah.
And it's very interesting that this person in this very well, red,
Mm. Oh yeah, yeah.
but
I, funny
he's
enough, funny
he's
enough.
holding a shawl.
Mm-mm. I think funny enough, I've seen this character before, but I don't know where.
Mm,
He might be a famous character in Chinese mythology, but I'm not quite sure.
I mean, the outfit looks like yeah, it looks like an immortal, like looks like one of the gods.
Mm.
But he's holding this shawl. It's like a musical instrument,
Yeah, that's right.
like pipe wind
Yes.
instrument. And
Yeah.
you blow it in, and then yeah, not a lot of people know how to play it now, but there are
Oh, okay.
there are artists who play that in Japan,
Mm.
and it's very old too. So usually they, well, what we call it opera, right? In the
Oh,
West,
right, right.
but in Asia there are a lot of different kinds,
Yes.
and one of them is like gigaku or bugaku.
Okay.
So these are very very traditional dance where they actually perform it during like special festivals or in front of temples for ceremonies only. And this was again imported from China. But yeah, I love the music and it's very nice. And then the person will wear this elaborate mask and then dance very slowly.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
and then this will be like the background music. This show.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they play it in No. No is another.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I saw
Which is
one years ago.
newer than, I mean,
Mm.
a later date than Bukaku and Gikaku. Those are actually extinct kind of
Oh,
art.
wow.
Yeah.
Mm, mm,
But in this painting, I love the top part of the man holding the shawl.
mm,
He, like, the landscape, or not really the landscape, but the rocks above him looks
mm.
like chandelier. It's like cubism or something.
Yeah. Um, it's actually maybe my favorite part about this piece is the I don't know if it's a rock formation or something, but it looks very um I don't want to say astral, but it doesn't look like it's off this world, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's
it,
very advanced. I mean, ahead of his time.
mm,
Like,
very
I mean,
true.
there are a few artists who are like him too, but this is quite something, really.
Mm, yeah.
And we can see a little creature creeping near the phoenix. There's
Uh,
a tiger there.
just a moment.
If you can see it, it almost blends in to the background.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine it's a tiger because some images I've seen um of this kind of artwork, tigers are kind of depicted this way sometimes.
They kind of like almost omit a lot of strokes, or almost like a cartoonish kind of tiger, right?
Mm-mm.
It's quite common in Japan, Japanese artwork during
Mm-mm.
the time. They painted tigers like that.
Mm-mm.
It's
Very
like
true.
huge eyebrows
Yes, that's true.
and mischievous smile. Looks like a
Mm-mm.
wildcat instead of
Yeah,
a
yeah,
tiger. Yeah.
yeah. But I'll be honest. It's very easy to miss it because it kind of blends in with the background.
Yeah, it blends in. The eyes kind of glow, right? Because he painted it green.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so it actually, when like wild animals, the eyes glow in the dark. So
Mm.
this is, I guess, is an observation of the artist.
Mm-mm. That's true. Yeah. Actually, the eyes do help kind of spotting it as well. So it helps
Yeah.
me anyway.
And then I
Yeah.
like the tail that curls around this man. You can see the
Oh,
tail.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're right. Yeah. I couldn't find out anything about this man particularly, but if anyone knows who he is, you can always send a reply on the chat. Yeah, he looks quite different from everyone else. He's more monochrome, and
Mm.
it's also harder to spot him too because he's mostly just black in the background.
And his hair almost like cotton candy.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
true.
so soft, and well, that's the skills of the artist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
able to paint like hair
Mm.
strand like that.
Mm.
A
Mm.
lot like cotton candy, I guess.
Yeah. And again, like just like this character on the left, his hair and clothing is being blown back by the dragon's sudden appearance.
Mm.
Yeah. Actually, I just realized the character in the middle doesn't seem to really notice the dragon person on the left. Not that he really he doesn't really care about it. I guess.
Well, maybe he's the person to like calling the dragon. I don't know, with
Yeah,
the show.
that's true. That's true. He seems less surprised about it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
summoning the dragon to
Mm.
land.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Well, overall, this is a very interesting painting,
Mm.
and there's a lot to see here.
Mm.
And we hope that you enjoy it.
Mm.
And next week we'll be here at the same time, and then we'll look
Ah.
at another painting.
Before we go, like, what's your favorite aspect of the Chinese Immortals?
Oh, I think it has to be the creativity.
Mm.
and the skills of the the, the nature.
Mm.
So this wind, and then you can almost feel like what the characters are doing
Mm.
or what they're like.
Mm. You can kind of create a narrative from just what's happening here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a story.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I felt like that's kind of what they liked doing in the past was creating stories in paintings. Like you have a
Yeah.
lot of Greek paintings where it's depicting something from the mythology, or
Yeah. Always. Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely. It's the same as in Asia, in the East.
yeah, and Christian and a lot of Christian paintings too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are great too.
yeah. Okay, all right. So my favorite aspect is just there's a lot going on, and
Yeah.
you always find something new when you look at these paintings.
Mm.
Something you didn't notice, or something that looks kind of different to you at a different point in your life. Like this man here. Um, it's really hard to tell if he's a good person or a bad person, but he seems, I don't know. It's maybe up to interpretation, or maybe he's actually a very famous immortal that I don't know about. That
Or I guess it's just the world's so messed up nowadays that we
oh
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
think of things not in the right way.
oof,
We always
absolutely.
perceive things in a very
Mm-mm-mm.
malicious way somehow.
Oh, totally, absolutely right. Yeah, those are some creepy kids, though. I mean, it's probably not intentional, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he painted any more children though. I
Oh yeah.
wonder. I don't think so though. Shohaku mainly painted like Immortals, and yes, he had very few landscape painting.
Mm.
But yeah, the one that's very pretty is the Fuji Mountain with the rainbow.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, maybe we can look at it sometime.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do
so
that.
well, we hope everyone will really look at beautiful things. Just look at something every day and then observe what's going on,
Mm.
and that would be very helpful with training our eyes.
Mm. Very true. Just maybe next time you can talk about something. Well, not just us, but anyone watching can talk about something they saw recently that made them really think, and we can
Yeah,
discuss
but
it as
it's a
well.
begin, and then share what art you've seen, or not even art, like just any pictures or illustrations.
That's true. That's true.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That would be very nice too.
Yeah. So, yes. So next week, again on Wednesday, I'll be doing some drawings. So at the same time, and on Thursday, we'll be discussing. Um, what do you want to do next Thursday? You want to discuss another artist or painting, or just have a
Yeah, another
general?
painting and probably Jeff too.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so yes. Thanks for joining us, guys, and yeah. Join us
Well,
again. Oh, you want to say
yeah.
something?
Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and then we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Take care. Have a nice evening and or afternoon. Bye bye.
Bye.